Nobody will satisfy your outdoor needs like reliable roofing.
Over the past 15 years, I had 2 roofing systems, including a chimney, installed by Reliable Roofing. I highly recommend them to get the job done.
Reliable Roofing, where no job is too big or small. Just give us a call.
No matter the job, big or small, give us a call.
For over 50 years, Southern University at Shreveport has been preparing students for various careers in the healthcare industry. We want to thank the past graduates, our future graduates, and all healthcare workers for the frontline service, especially in times like these. If you're passionate about helping others and building healthier communities, start your career as a frontline healthcare worker in health sciences. Visit susla.edu.
Depression, anxiety, trauma, nicotine dependence, and more. Many families are struggling with behavioral health issues. Reaching out for professional help is the best thing you can do for you and your family. At CareSouth, we are committed to helping individuals and families to heal, bounce back, and grow stronger. Our team of professionals are available for telehealth and in-person visits. Call for an appointment today at 225-650-2000. Hope in healing is just a phone call.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
One of my favorite times of year here in South Louisiana because it is Mardi Gras and it is Saturday morning and it's time to get things rocking and rolling. Good morning to everybody out there. It is the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White, my man Mike on the board, and we're going to get started with today's show. quick, fast, and in a hurry. Got to welcome this morning softball coach at Southern University, Coach Williams. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
I like to hear that voice right there. That means you've been up. You ready to get the day started.
Yes, of course. We out in it. You said Mardi Gras time. That's where we're headed, to Mardi Gras parade.
That's the way to get it going. All right, Coach, you guys over at Southeastern, and in the Mardi Gras Mambo is what they calling it, the tournament. You took on North Dakota, got a victory 2-1, and then a close game with the University of Montana, losing by 1 run, 5-4. Talk about that tournament, what it's been like to get the season started off, and what you noticed from your team right off the bat.
Oh, man, opening weekend, like I said before, is very exciting. This is our first time in the Mardi Gras Mambo tournament, and we will be back. Really sad that they're booked up for next year already. The hospitality here has been great. They, provided dinner and a live band for all the fans and the players and things like that. And then today we get to participate in a parade and throw Southern paraphernalia to the people in Youngsville. So we're excited about that. The games were amazing. It was a great start to the season. Resiliency, I would say, was the topic for yesterday. We had an opportunity to lose the game, our first game. We had bases loaded with no outs and got out of that situation. And then we went extra innings, and the other team actually scored first. We were down 1-0 in the bottom of the 8th, and we came through. Did our jobs, got the bunt down, got the hit to score the run. So we did everything we needed to do in that situation. And like I said, they didn't even look left or right. They looked forward towards their goals. We've been, I know I'm saying a lot in a little bit, but we've been reading a book called Mind Gym. And our focus this week was, or the quote for this week was, there are no obstacles when you stay focused on your goal. Mm-hmm. So, we had all the obstacles in front of us, but those players, they stayed focused, and they did what they needed to do to win. Second game, we had one bad inning. Montana scored four runs in that inning, and out of those 4, all were unearned. So just some growth that we had to do there, but we ended up getting out of the inning and then coming right back and scoring 3 more runs. So it was 5-3 for a while, and then we got in there, scored another run. Had a pinch hitter situation. Hit it all the way to the fence, but it didn't pan out for us. So we did all the right things, even down to the bottom of the 7th, still down 5-4. We had a runner on 1. Azer George hit a shot to left field. The player dove, and the umpires didn't make a call. Oh. So my player on first, she ran to second, and then they threw it to first, and then they tried to say the girl caught it, and they got the runner out at first. So the game ended, in the umpire's hands, which we never want. I always tell my players to, we had plenty of opportunities beforehand to win it, so we can't blame the umpires. But, it hurts. If people beat us, I want them to earn the win and not let us get it to them. We gave it to them in several different ways.
That's in one of those games. You be like those damn umpires, Right. All right, you talking about games today against, and talk to me about these opponents. Green Bay and Providence College. What about those programs?
Green Bay has been struggling opening weekend. They lost to Nichols 11-0, and the team that we beat, North Dakota, actually beat Nichols. So, and then they lost to Southeastern pretty heavily as well. Southeastern's a really good program, but they haven't showed up this weekend yet. So, of course, we don't take anybody lightly, but we're prepared to go toe-to-toe with them. And then Providence has had a fairly good weekend. So we're just coming to play our game, today. So
got to take a deep breath and just look at it and say, you know what, we're going to get this. And I love non-conference matchups, especially when we go into those games and get some dubs and put up a fight. You know, traditionally in the past, you've kind of seen the way non-conference games have gone where, you know, you really don't get close competition until you get towards conference play. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far with your program. Getting the year started off strong, a 2-1 victory over North Dakota, as well as a 1-run loss to Montana. But that's showing a resiliency right there, both those games, these young ladies. Coach, how are you liking it over there at Youngsville, Louisiana? What is the vibe and the atmosphere like?
It's a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun. And today, like I said, we're going to be in the thick of it. So my Cali girls and my Texas girls get to see how Mardi Gras goes down.
Yeah, South Louisiana, real South Louisiana. Make sure they get some gumbo today.
Yes.
They got to get some gumbo today. But, Coach, moving forward after that, before I get ready to let you go, you're going to end it out tomorrow against Texas Arlington. That ball game is going to be at 11 a.m. first pitch. What about UT Arlington for tomorrow's matchup?
A very good program, very good program. Probably one of the toughest competitions we'll see this weekend. So, but we're excited about that matchup because when we win SWAC and make it to regionals, that's the type of talent that we'll see.
Yeah, it is. When you start talking about those regional matchups, and I like what you said. You said when you win SWAC. All right, now that's what it's all about. What it say? The SWAC stand for Southern Wins Another Championship.
Yes, of course.
That's what the people like, Coach. Coach, I want to say thank you for coming on and joining me this morning. I didn't want to hold you up too long. I know you guys got a long day ahead of you. Parades, ball games. Y'all living the life right now.
Yes, this is what it's about. College experience, the education that you get in Southern, as well as the culture, is second to none. And I wanted my players to experience it all. You come, you leave home for an experience, to play ball and to have education and for memories. The memories are something that I tell my players they'll last forever. So we're excited about today. Memories
do last forever, Coach. That's right. And they'll think back on this years from now. Remember that team when we were in the parade and in the tournament. Had a chance to meet Coach this past week at the recruiting bash. So it was good to finally meet you for the first time, Coach.
Yes, it was exciting to hear all the recruits football is bringing in. I love how Southern is moving in a positive direction in all sports. I think Banks is doing a great job with leading us and heading us in the right direction.
I'm coming to some softball games this year, so I won't be a stranger to the program. I want to see what it's like, what's going on. Bringing my guy Mike. Mike going to check it out, probably do some recording. We're going to come hang out with softball. Is that okay?
Oh, of course. Please, come on. Bring some friends.
All right, that's what I like. I'm going to bring a lot of friends if they listening to me this morning on the radio. I'm going to tell y'all when the next home game is. But, Coach, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming on. And have fun today. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. That was Coach Williams, the head coach of softball at Southern University. Let's take a break. We come back, try to get the bowling coach, Barry Doyle, Coach of the Year. Let's see if we can get him on and talk about some Southern University bowling. All right, y'all stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
Nobody will satisfy your outdoor needs like reliable roofing.
Over the past 15 years, I had 2 roofing systems, including a chimney, installed by Reliable Roofing. I highly recommend them to get the job done.
Reliable Roofing, where no job is too big or small. Just give us a call.
No matter the job, big or small, give us a call.
For over 50 years, Southern University at Shreveport has been preparing students for various careers in the healthcare industry. We want to thank the past graduates, our future graduates, and all healthcare workers for the frontline service, especially in times like these. If you're passionate about helping others and building healthier communities, start your career as a frontline healthcare worker in health sciences. Visit susla.edu.
Depression, anxiety, trauma, nicotine dependence, and more. Many families are struggling with behavioral health issues. Reaching out for professional help is the best thing you can do for you and your family. At Care South, we are committed to helping individuals and families to heal, bounce back, and grow stronger. Our team of professionals are available for telehealth and in-person visits. Call for an appointment today at 225-650-2000. Hope in healing is just a phone call.
All right, we are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there. Good morning to, it's Mardi Gras season. Should I say more? Everybody should be getting ready or probably falling asleep after a long night on a Friday night doing Mardi Gras. Some of you guys like myself, we up. We rocking and rolling on a Saturday morning. I had to go home last night. I tell Mike, Friday nights, I have to be disciplined. I had to say, Perry, just go home. So that's what I did Friday night. I went home. I said, I got the rest of the day. I'll spend it today and tomorrow. So everybody be safe out there. It's Mardi Gras season. It's a celebration here in South Louisiana. And it's a celebration at Southern University because they just won another SWAC championship. And I just said it, SWAC stand for Southern Wins Another Championship. And how about this time in bowling? So we got to have him on this morning. Southern University head bowling coach, Coach Barry Doyle. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
It's a celebration just more than Mardi Gras for you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Back to back.
Back to back. Let's talk about it. You guys win the bowling SWAC tournament. How should I tell me? How should I word that? The SWAC championship bowling. How should I?
We are the SWAC regular season champions.
That's it.
Right.
Simple as that.
We won the regular season championship, and we have a SWAC tournament coming up in March. It works like NCAA basketball. So we won the regular season title with the number one seed going into the SWAC tournament in March. The winner of the SWAC tournament goes to the NCAA tournament and can play for a national championship.
All right, Coach, help us understand how does one coach bowling at Southern University, and what is that like, especially when you get to conference play and non-conference play and the type of competition and practice that goes into competing for bowling in Division I level?
Well, these young ladies, they practice 4 to 5 times a week, 2 to 3 hours a day. We do endurance training, a little bit of weightlifting. I set the schedule up. We bowl about 4 or 5 tournaments. We bowl 9 to 10 tournaments every year. In the first 4 or 5 tournaments, I kind of mix it up where we'll play against people of our caliber, and then we'll step out this year. We went to Las Vegas. We went to Dallas, and we played against the top 20 teams in the country. I think we beat about 4 or 5 of them this year. We beat the number 7 team in the country about 2 weeks ago, and that they get the girls prepped and ready, to face anybody.
When you look at the scoring now, what people don't know, if they don't know, you went to Southern Lab and a Southern University graduate in mathematics, and I have to ask, how much does mathematics equate to helping with the numbers? And when you look at it, bowling and the angles, the scoring, all of that, how much does that work for you, Coach?
It does work. I mean, but bowling is kind of a math and science game. I mean, you have to know the angles. I don't know. A lot of people go bowling, they don't pay attention, but they have arrows out there on the lane. There's 40 boards on the lane. So we talk. I'll say, hey, stand on 25 with your feet, throw the ball at 20, get it out to 13. That's the break point. I mean, I know that sounds like rocket science to you. But,
my God, what are you talking about?
Well, my girls.
I just step up and throw. I'm that type of bowler. I'm the recreational bowler.
Right. But my girls, they curve the ball, and we have these high-powered balls, got weight blocks in them. All of my girls throw 15-pound bowling balls, and it's a science to it. It's more than just throwing it down there. We play on oil patterns. They put 44 feet of oil, or 35 feet of oil, or 42 feet of oil, and you got to know where to put the ball to score your best.
Let's talk about it, because when you look at SWAC tournament play, you guys do well out of conference and during the season. What is it like out there to even run a Division I bowling program these days? And does the transfer portal, like we've seen in other sports, truly affect this type of sport?
The transfer portal for us is maybe not as bad as the footballs and the basketball and the baseball of the world. It's good. I mean, in bowling, the girls are not jumping in and out of the transfer portal like in the other sports. So it's not nearly as I look at the transfer portal sometimes. Just football. Just for fun, man. That thing was like the stock market. I mean, but for us, it's not that bad. But a bowling program, D1. I mean, I run my program just like a football coach or a basketball coach. I mean, I have to, and I wear a lot of hats. I gotta, get my girls prepared to compete. I gotta recruit, I recruit just like everybody else. I go out, to other cities. They have tournaments that go on, and normally in the summer they have a big tournament that we go to. There's 3,000 to 4,000 kids there, and I'm trying to find a couple of diamonds in the rough.
How do you go out? What does talent look like recruiting for a bowling program?
I mean, these girls, they put in the years, just like like I say, in any other sport. I mean, they're 17, 16 years old when I find them, and they've been bowling, anywhere from 7 to 10 years of their life. They're out there, parents taking them out to the bowling alley on the weekends, bowling in youth leagues. There's high school bowling now. They travel and go to these junior tournaments and compete, and try to, across in regions. And, I mean, you travel everywhere. I mean, when growing up as a kid, and it wasn't nearly, like it is now when I was growing up as a kid, but, we used to travel all over Louisiana and Texas and go to, city tournaments and state tournaments and, stuff like that. So, I have to get out there and find them like that.
See, I didn't know if you just, you at the bowling alley one day and you just started hearing the pins cracking down on the other end, and you look down looking, who is that? And that's how recruiting go. It's so the world of bowling and where it's going and what it is growing into. I remember growing up, I would watch the bowling championships on ESPN. And these guys have these glass bowling balls and all of these things, and
they're not made of glass.
Huh?
You say glass bowling balls.
Well, it just look, some guys got some unique bowling balls out there, and I watch them swinging, and that's why I'm so reckless when I bowl, Coach. I watch them throw it, and that ball just almost go to the gutter, and then it swing back at the right moment and hit straight down the middle and knock them all down.
Right. I mean, these balls are made of you can get them plastic. The plastic ones might be the shiny ones that you think are made of glass, but they're plastic. They have urethane, and then they have these balls made of resin now, and they have weight blocks in them. high performance bowling balls. I mean, like I said, it's a science to it. These balls have weight blocks inside of them that determines how much they hook or how less they'll hook. You put polish on them to make them go longer, or you could dull them up almost like a tire, for different oil patterns. It's a science to it.
You blowing my mind this morning, Coach.
Yeah, I think that's how I got the job. I was talking to the AD when we was talking about this years ago, and I started talking about bowling. He just started shaking his head, and I guess he thought I don't know a thing he talking about. He sounds like he know what he's doing, so he hired me.
But for the average person that's out there listening, and they saying, well, they're winning this gives you an insight of what really goes into a bowling team, a program, recruiting, ideas of coach, that when you're talking about coaching a team, it goes down to the science of the small things more so than just throwing the ball down the lane, trying to knock down as many pins as you can. And I think that is what has created this, what they say, atmosphere for success in which you've created at Southern University. You're the coach of the year. Congratulations on winning that award. And talk about some of the young ladies that brought home some awards throughout from the season as well.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a lot more to it than just throwing a ball down the lane, man. Our season is long. We go from October to the end of March, and if you win the SWAC tournament, then you go into April. So we're together, 6-7 months. Not counting December, they go home for the break, but we spend a lot of time together, and it's it's like a family, man. They're like my daughters. I see them a lot. I see them more than I see my own home sometimes. So it's a like I said, a family atmosphere, and we do a lot of bowling, but we do a lot of off the lane things too. But the young ladies that I have, I'll start with my junior, Jalen Rogers. She's in her third year with me. She has been first team All SWAC 3 years in a row. She was the freshman of the year her freshman year. She's been in the top 3 of the SWAC, like I say, 3 years in a row. Nyla Wilson, another junior. She had a breakout year this year. She finished 5th overall. She's from Baltimore, Maryland. Jalen's from Jackson, Mississippi. Now I had a phenomenal weekend last week in Biloxi, and she was a big reason why we were able to win the title. I have a Kelsey Quinney. She's from Dallas, Texas, junior. I brought all 3 of those girls in together, and they've just been wonderful. Kelsey was our first team All SWAC tournament last year. She finished, I think, 15th overall last weekend. And then finally, well, not finally, but I have we have the freshman of the year, Jemiah Bolden. She's from Chicago, Illinois. She finished 8th overall in the SWAC, and she won freshman of the year honors. She showed the SWAC she's the future of Southern University. She's gonna fall right in there with Jalen's an anchor on our team, and I think Jemiah will be the same. I also have Ashley Adams from Atlanta, Georgia. She's a freshman. She played a good role this weekend. And Naomi Smith from Detroit. She's a transfer student. She's a junior, and she put up a couple of big numbers this weekend. It helped us win too. So, got them from everywhere, and they kept the ball rolling this weekend.
Well, Coach, I want to say congratulations to you for being named Coach of the Year. Thank you for coming on this morning and educating me and the many listeners out there about bowling. I'm definitely have to have you on, man. There's no way you have a Coach of the Year and don't have more conversations like this. And good luck to you guys as you get ready to go into SWAC tournament play, man. And just congratulations on back-to-back regular season champions, man. To see success over there on the bluff at Southern University and to have a standard of winning championships year in and year out, and as well as shows from the veteran players that you have all the way down to your freshman players that the program is obviously headed in the right direction, and it looks steady when you look at the talent all the way around and the coaching. Because guess what? It's not easy to be the Coach of the Year. I've never even been voted remotely close to Coach of the Year, Coach.
Back to back Coach of the Year too.
Back to back, Coach. That's what I'm talking about, Coach. Barry Doyle head. It's the women's bowling team. That's right. I just can't yell out bowling. I'm gonna put it specifically. The head coach.
We don't have a boys team, so everybody knows.
One day we're gonna get that, Coach. One day.
I don't know, but
Coach, well, thank you for coming on. That is the voice of Barry Doyle, coach of Southern University women's bowling team. He's the head guy, back-to-back Coach of the Year, back-to-back SWAC regular season championships headed to the SWAC tournament. Thank you for coming on this morning, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. We come back. We're going to get Kedrick Taylor, Director of Bands at Southern University, talk to us about an adventure they went on this weekend, as well as It's Mardi Gras season. So what's Mardi Gras without the Southern University Human Jukebox? All right. So y'all stay tuned. We'll come back more to Jaguar Journal.
Nobody will satisfy your outdoor needs like reliable roofing.
Over the past 15 years, I had 2 roofing systems, including a chimney, installed by Reliable Roofing. I highly recommend them to get the job done.
Reliable roofing, where no job is too big or small. Just give us a call.
No matter the job, big or small, give us a call.
For over 50 years, Southern University at Shreveport has been preparing students for various careers in the healthcare industry. We want to thank the past graduates, our future graduates, and all healthcare workers for the frontline service, especially in times like these. If you're passionate about helping others and building healthier communities, start your career as a frontline healthcare worker in health sciences. Visit susla.edu.
Depression, anxiety, trauma, nicotine dependence, and more. Many families are struggling with behavioral health issues. Reaching out for professional help is the best thing you can do for you and your family. At CareSouth, we are committed to helping individuals and families to heal, bounce back, and grow stronger. Our team of professionals are available for telehealth and in-person visits. Call for an appointment today at 225-650-2000. Hope in healing is just a phone call.
All right, we're back. Good morning to everybody out there listening on radio. We're in Alexandria, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans. Good morning to all you guys, and good morning to everybody who tuned in this morning on YouTube and Facebook Live. As always, I know it's not easy to get up on a Saturday morning, but somebody got to do it, and it might as well be me and my guy, Mike. Mike holding it down back there, making sure everything running smooth. Thank you, Mike. And let's keep it going because it is Mardi Gras season, and many of you are up this morning just like myself, getting ready for a day of festivities, parades, beads, floats, all the other stuff that go along with it. And some of the folks, you know, they just going to bed. Long night, Friday night, it was rough. But I went home last night just so I can be able to get up this morning. A good discipline. And you talk about discipline, can't talk about discipline without the Southern University Marching Band, because they'll be out in the parades and all around on your local TV station and all that stuff. So we have to welcome to the Jaguar Journal my guy, Dr. Kedrick Taylor. Good morning.
Good morning. What's going on? How's it going?
Good, man. What's the word?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, this feels really good. Saturday morning, Mardi Gras weekend. It's one of those feelings where it's exciting. You have a lot of excitement because Human Jukebox definitely is in full effect. And if you're not coming to Boxers Parade, you better get there quick, because it's gonna be a treat.
Let me ask you this, Dr. Taylor. You're from Mobile, Alabama, all right? And, of course, there's always the conversation of the Mardi Gras from Mobile to here. Talk to some of the people out there in Radio Land who may not be familiar with what Mardi Gras is like outside of the state of Louisiana, particularly in Mobile, Alabama.
Well, I always tell the students, because, we always had this debate, I grew up in Mobile, and Mardi Gras definitely was a huge staple in Mobile. So everybody was accustomed to going. You had a lot of people who came out and supported. But it's like a tailgate, family-oriented environment in Mobile. New Orleans is definitely more like a party.
A little rowdy, ain't it? A little rowdy.
Yeah, it's a little more. It's definitely a bigger platform. But I would say in Mobile is more of a family-oriented environment, kind of like being with your parents. Some certain things you just wouldn't do when you with your parents. But but when you get in New Orleans, it's free game. Free fall is like, hey, police don't see it. They stay out there, but they don't really see it. But in Mobile, there's a little more control. But that it's both environments I witnessed, and they both are fun. I have fun at both. I've been in Louisiana more than I've been in Mobile, so it's kind of crazy now. How many years I've been in Louisiana. So I really I'm from Mobile, but I live in Louisiana. So it's really one of those things where hey, Mobile has a great Mardi Gras season. I go back every now and then to be with my family in Mobile. Like I said, it's a family-oriented environment. So my parents, they've been taking us to the parades. Packers have been in the car for many years. So going to and the crazy thing is, man, in Mobile on Sunday, it's big in New Orleans for different parades. But in Mobile, man, they have a parade called Joe Kane.
Joe Kane.
And he had many wives, so we never celebrated that day. So hey, we was going to church. We get out of church and man, we head to New Orleans, man, and go to Bacchus. We would watch the Bacchus parade. My dad would bring us up there, and we all of us would go to Bacchus until we got tired, because Bacchus run really, really late, and then we'll go back home. Bacchus still going on.
Yeah.
So we would go out there and watch half of the parade and go home, or we was watching it until somebody started acting crazy. But it was pretty fun. So I grew up in Mobile, and I got to witness the parades in New Orleans as well.
Let's talk about the Southern University Marching Band and Mardi Gras, because many Mardi Gras have been blessed to hear the sounds of the marching band from Jaguar Land, the Southern University Human Jukebox, coming down their local street. You guys have been to Kentwood, Slidell, down in New Orleans so far for Mardi Gras. Going to end things for the season for Mardi Gras tomorrow down on Sunday at the Bacchus Parade in New Orleans. So anybody that's listening, we have listeners down in New Orleans and Alexandria and all across the state and across the region. You want to get an opportunity to see the world's best band live and in action. I would recommend you go to the Bacchus Parade tomorrow and get a chance to see them. But not only that, you guys are going to be on television. So for a lot of people out there across the world, they don't have to just wait to see you guys in person, because you're going to be on television tonight as a part of the festivities over at the Super Bowl. And you guys went out there this week for a soulful celebration. Talk about that experience and being able to take those students and what exactly it was you guys were doing.
Man, we were in Las Vegas, and everything in show business, is definitely a treat because, you get to see the behind the scenes on how productions are made and relationships and, that are partnerships that become friendships. So we made a lot of relationships that became friendships, and not only did we make relationships, man, they became friendships, but we also saw we had a lot of alum, man, that's working in the industry that actually, doing some things at a high level. So we got the opportunity to go and record, with the Soulful Celebration for the Super Bowl. And, man, it was an experience like none other, man. It was amazing just to see the whole production and see how everything just brought together. And, the students had an amazing time. They met a lot of celebrities and, they met a lot of awesome people. So we definitely had an opportunity to witness a lot of things that I definitely know that we never knew happened behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Man. A lot of that stuff you think it just happens, and I'm like, man, that's wow, they really good. But you find out that not only do the Human Jukebox strive for perfection, but definitely networks, they strive for perfection. There's no imperfections. They got guys that look for the smallest details, like, hey man, the color of your shirt for TV. All the ins and outs. But man, our students did an amazing job, and it airs tonight. On CBS at 8:00. You definitely want to tune in because we are first. So if you tune in at 8:05, you definitely might miss it. You want to get that early. Definitely want to get that early on CBS, Human Jukebox, live and in colors. Man, we will have our actual uniforms on, so you would definitely see the Southern University Human Jukebox in full effect.
Let me ask you this. You talk about full effect, and it goes back to the band. You guys always have so much going on, man. How does one stay on track with all of the different, the traveling, you're going to Vegas, the band is still here, they're practicing, you got some of the band members over there, then at the end of the day, bring it all together after all of a week of all of that, and then find a way for a parade tomorrow, man, and just keeping the glue together with everything.
We have a staff like none other. Those guys were working with the other students that were still back home. We didn't take everybody. We had percussion that came with us, and so myself and Mr. Hart, we went out, to Vegas, and the rest of the staff stayed back with the rest of the band, preparing them for the weekend. And a lot of people was asking, for my news interview, they were like, "Well, why wouldn't we do the Super Bowl?" Well, you can do the Super Bowl, but that don't mean you represent your brand. It's an experience for the students, definitely. But you want to always represent your brand. Your brand is who you are. Your brand is definitely something that you want everybody in the world to know who you are. And we have the opportunity to go on CBS and represent our brand. So, we definitely chose to go to the Soulful Celebration to represent the Southern University system, the Jaguar Nation, and every supporter that supports Southern University at a high level. So we have an outstanding staff that contributes to that brand. And, those guys have been working very, very hard while we were gone to Vegas. And, the rest of the band is locked in and they ready, so they ready to showcase, what they've been doing all week, all season. So if you're not doing anything, and even if you're doing anything, you definitely want to go to Box Parade.
Let me ask you this.
Definitely want to tune in tonight.
Who the hell worked at Essence talking about the sonic boom of Southern University? I can't believe they did that.
Yeah.
You talking about the brand? Oh, man, come on, Essence. You got to do better, Essence. There's no way you of the culture and of the people and got that one wrong. Dr. Taylor, when I saw that and everybody started talking about it on social media, I said, how could they get this one wrong?
Well, the first thing that I realized is in the industry, they have a lot of people working for them, and they have a lot of people working with them. So I'm sure somebody from another culture who's not familiar with HBCUs, but a lot of people was upset about it. Oh, man, I had so many messages, and, the school and myself, we communicated with them and let them know, hey, guys, this is a huge mistake. Can we rectify it?
Yeah, it's a huge mistake. Talking about the Southern. It's two things you don't mix up, and that's Southern and Jackson State.
Yeah, you just don't mess that up. Hey, anybody who know about any HBCUs, Southern University, Jackson State, and that ring just didn't even ring a bell.
It didn't at all. It wasn't going viral. None of that. None of that was going to happen with that going together right there. That was bad ingredients where they say you're trying to make gumbo, but instead you make soup.
Yeah, I don't even know if they made soup right there. Dr. Griggs used to say, if you drop one piece of kerosene in the gumbo, you ruined the whole gumbo. And you know what?
Dog.
When you said Sonny Boone in Southern University, you definitely dropped some kerosene in the gumbo.
They messed that one up, man. I saw that. I said, how could you had one job? All you had to do is Google it if you don't know. You just don't think off the top of your head, oh, the Sonic Boom was Southern University. That just, they got to do better with that. Maybe that was a joke. Maybe, you know what? We got pranked. That's what it was. Somebody pranked us. That's all. And y'all got us. All right, you got us. Just don't prank us like that again. Dr. Taylor, as we get ready to let you go, man, I got to ask you, it's recruiting season for you. So when you recruit, you guys are looking for talent all across the country to audition. And it's not easy to be a part of the Southern University Marching Band. For you guys, when you go out there, what areas are you going to be hitting? And for kids that want to audition, that could be listening, parents listening, and then somebody could be watching tonight and see you guys on CBS, or a kid could see you guys tomorrow in Bacchus Parade and say, you know what, that's where I want to go. What is the audition like, and what do they need to do if they want to be a part to at least try out for this band?
Well, one of the main things we look for is musicianship, for to go play out with these stars and go play with these artists at a high level, you definitely have to have some skills. We had every classification that represented us at the Soulful Celebration. So not only were they seniors, juniors, sophomores, but we had some freshmen. So, man, those guys understood the assignment and understood what it takes to be in the Southern University Human Jukebox. And one of those key factors are you got to definitely be teachable, coachable, and trainable. We're looking for individuals that not only want to be musicians, but we call them student musicians. You're a student first. So anybody that's looking to be coached, anybody that's looking to be, molded and mended to be young men and young women, man, we definitely looking for them that have talent. You would definitely want to be a part of the Southern University Human Jukebox. You got to, Dr. Greg said it best, you got to know how to show how. And if you know what you're doing, you can definitely show the world your talent, and somebody will recognize it. So I definitely say that we look for students that have a high standard of excellence, and I would describe excellence as the product of hard work and extra effort that creates the difference between an acceptable job and an outstanding job. The students that put that extra work in, that extra effort, that's what's going to separate you from everybody else. It's simple. The extra effort is going to create the difference. And so we looking for students that want to give you that extra effort, because that's who we are as the Southern University Human Jukebox. The standard, the S on our chest lets us know that we are the best. So if you that person, you definitely want to come to Southern University, because we strive for excellence daily, and it carries over to adult life, like Dr. Griggs would say. I always keep saying that, but we were in the band with Dr. Griggs, and we heard him say all these things, but to live it is to understand it at another level. These things that you learn at the Southern University facilities, we strive for excellence. To be on time is to be before time. If you're on time, you're late. So you got to be early. And those are the things we carry over. And, I mean, when you go out in the world, if you carry those principles with you, man, it's nothing that you will not succeed at. And so, man, if those students that are teachable, coachable, and trainable, you don't got to know all the things. That's what we're going to teach you. But we just need you to be teachable, coachable, and trainable. I told the students, hey, when I stop learning, it's time for me to leave.
That's it.
You never stop learning, man. You always gotta be teachable, coachable, and trainable. So that's the kind of students we're looking for. students that's willing to learn. You know, you don't have to be the best, but if you're willing to learn, we definitely willing to work with you. But we definitely want some great musicians that are out here that's skillful, because, man, we put you on a platform like none other. You never know what a Southern University band gonna perform, man. You know, it's always exciting and it's always a treat. So definitely we look for students that can play at a high level, but also students that are teachable, coachable, and trainable.
That's it. And let me tell you, from my own personal experience of being around the band and working with the band on the media side, man, let me tell you, it is amazing of the places that this band goes and the amount of people. It don't matter if you white, black, yellow, green, orange. When they see that band with them plumes coming down the street and that ass, all you hear is that Southern. The name rings out, and it shows how big the marketing and branding is for this marching band. It shows how big it is just for the name to go out there, because you can't go anywhere and somebody don't know much about the Southern University Marching Band, especially with technology. The YouTube channel you guys have is one of the most views, if not the most viewed marching band out there. The NCAA has continuously, year in and year out, shown this band a lot of respect, ranking it always within the top 5. And we're talking about the juggernauts, Southern University, Ohio State, and many more. When you start putting those names out there, and then tomorrow, Bacchus, Dr. Taylor, somebody going to get cranked on. They going to get blue on tomorrow. That's when the band head and all of New Orleans come out. They want to see somebody get cranked on tomorrow, Dr. Taylor.
They do, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we hope nobody don't show up to the party. Ain't no party like a jukebox party, because a jukebox party don't stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So if you're out and about and you want to see the marching band from Southern University, the Human Jukebox tomorrow, they will be at the Bacchus Parade down in New Orleans. I believe that parade jumps off at about 5:15. Dr. Taylor, what time should the people, if they want to see somebody get cranked on, what time would you estimate to see that?
So I would definitely tell them to be on time is to be before time. So the parade start at 5:15. You definitely want to get that about 4 o'clock, you know. It's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be exciting. We definitely play before the parade. It's a lot of people be out there, a lot of schools. And, man, that's a recruitment tool. You know, I always tell people that they think it's arrogant, but we don't play against anybody else. We only see Southern University. And if we as good as our last performance, there's nobody going to come close, you know. So we look at it as being better than our last performance. So we are the standard, so we look to be better than our last performance. So it's a recruiting tool for us. It's a recruiting tool for, you know, the university, for us to showcase one of the premier programs and organizations in the state of Louisiana. You know, people know about Southern University worldwide, not just in the United States, but even international. So people look for that type of stuff, man. Even during COVID, when nothing was going on, people were like, I just got to hit that jukebox. You know, it gave us life. It gave us something that we definitely was looking for, and we was looking to have in our lives. So the Southern University Human Jukebox definitely adds a lot of dynamics to Mardi Gras, because that's what people long for. That's what we look to see. We look to hear that band, and we look to hear those staple songs that make us feel good, you know, and life is hard. So being able to have an organization of that magnitude separates you from a lot of people. So we definitely looking forward to having a great time, man, because, you know, music is the art of feeling, is what you feel, man. Mm-hmm. We going to make you feel it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The Human Jukebox, baby.
Often imitated, but never, ever, ever duplicated. That's my guy, Dr. Kedrick Taylor, the head director of Southern University Marching Band. Thank you, Dr. Taylor, for coming on this morning.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a great weekend and be safe out there at Mardi Gras.
All right, thank you. Let's get ready to take a break. Mike gave me the countdown 30 seconds ago, so we got to take a break. We're at the top of the hour. We come back, we'll get my guy, Jim Kleinpeter. It's time to talk to Southern University football. Y'all can't live without it, can you? All right, so we're going to have the conversation. We're going to talk about recruiting and as well as additions to the coaching staff. So y'all go get some coffee, go use the bathroom, go fix you some eggs. I don't care what you do. Just get up, and if you're getting outside today, you're getting ready for a parade. So keep it locked right here. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
Nobody will satisfy your outdoor needs like reliable roofing.
Over the past 15 years, I had 2 roofing systems, including a chimney, installed by Reliable Roofing. I highly recommend them. to get the job done.
Reliable roofing, where no job is too big or small. Just give us a call.
No matter the job, big or small, give us a call.
For over 50 years, Southern University at Shreveport has been preparing students for various careers in the healthcare industry. We want to thank the past graduates, our future graduates, and all healthcare workers for the frontline service, especially in times like these. If you're passionate about helping others and building healthier communities, start your career as a frontline healthcare worker in health sciences. Visit susla.edu.
Depression, anxiety, trauma, nicotine dependence, and more. Many families are struggling with behavioral health issues. Reaching out for professional help is the best thing you can do for you and your family. At Care South, we are committed to helping individuals and families to heal, bounce back, and grow stronger. Our team of professionals are available for telehealth and in-person visits. Call for an appointment today at 225-650-2000. Hope in Healing is just a phone call.
Good morning and happy Mardi Gras to everybody that's out there listening from Perry and Mike here at the Jaguar Journal. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. It is Mardi Gras weekend, one of my favorite times, and one of the reasons why I love living in South Louisiana. If it's not Baton Rouge and New Orleans, it's all the small towns and places around in the parishes. It is a festive time of the year. Not only that, it's the Super Bowl. It's tomorrow. It's just so much going on. One can get overwhelmed. That's why I was disciplined last night. I took myself home. I keep telling you, I look, outdoors tried to get me. No, I'm going home so I can get up and talk to the people today about football because they want to know about football, and there's nobody better than to talk Southern University football with than my guy Jim Klein-Peter from The Advocate. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Terry.
You know what the people want, Jim.
Oh yeah, I know. It's they're ravenous, especially at recruiting time because they haven't had any football in a couple of months. Any Southern football, so they got to eat something.
They need it. Coach Graves was on the show last week. Had an opportunity to talk to him. He spoke highly, of Mark Fredericks, who's now named the offensive coordinator at Southern University. For you, before we get into the recruiting side of things, Jim. You've had an opportunity to meet with Mark Frederick. Talk about Coach Frederick yourself coming into this position of offensive coordinator, and as well as any other additions to the coaching staff that you've heard of reported on.
Yeah, well, Mark Frederick is a guy that's I can only say that he's well respected. He was supposed to come to Southern as a running back coach 2 years ago. And Bubba McDowell thought highly of him. They offered him a promotion and a raise to come back and become offensive coordinator at Prairie View. And Prairie View had a good offense the last 2 years. He looks like he's more balanced in offense than you would have expected from Eric Dooley. I like the hire very much. I think they're comfortable. He's going to be comfortable with the staff. Terrence Graves likes him. They pursued him. They went after him, and you have to offer a little bit of money to get him to come away for the same job that he's coming from. So I think this is a good hire. Terrence Graves was telling me he already knows what type of offense he runs. He understands it and he likes it. So that's all you need to know.
What about some other additions to the staff, Jim?
Well, they're working on on getting a special teams coordinator. I don't know who that's going to be. It's a very important position. That's one thing I noticed. I think from watching SWAC, special teams, you've got to pay attention to. You cannot ignore it because field position, I don't know, in a way it seems like it means more than it does. I watched LSU play in the SEC, and field position is really important in the SWAC. I mean, you've got to pin the other team back because there's a lot of big plays. So they got to find the right guy for that. And Coach Graves did that himself last year. I think he knows what he's looking for. That hire's come in about 2 weeks. So I don't think we're going to know too much about that for a while. But he did hire a strength coach, Randall Moore, who seems to have a pretty good reputation. He's worked so many places. He worked for Dawson Odoms at Norfolk State and a few other places, and the MEACs especially. So maybe he's going to bring some different techniques. In fact, Coach Graves said he's already been sending workout routines and nutrition advice for the Southern players until he gets here next week.
I have to ask you this and kind of teeter off from Southern, but we're going to come back full circle. You look at Grambling. I want to ask you this because there's two members of that staff that you have written about and as coaching positions at Southern. That's Jason Rollins and Eric Dooley. Jason Rollins being named the defensive coordinator at Grambling. Eric Dooley being named the offensive coordinator. And Mickey Joseph, who many know here in the Baton Rouge area, formerly at LSU. You look at that staff, but more importantly, Eric Dooley and Jason Rollins. What's your thoughts on two former Southern University head coaches now at Grambling as assistants or coordinators?
I think this is a classic strategy for a coach who's not as familiar with the SWAC. You go and you get coordinators who are. And I don't think this is a bad move for Grambling. To me, I never really got to see Eric Dooley, what he was talked about wanting to throw the ball. I never really got to see the high-powered offense. It never materialized at Southern. And, of course, I think you know as well as anybody, Perry, that you got to have a quarterback to be able to do that. And he never did get a good quarterback. He never had consistent quarterbacking at Southern. If he gets a good one, maybe it'll work. I don't know. But Jason Rollins, I think, is a real solid hire. He was at ULM. He's done some. He's been in a lot of places. I think Jason was. I think that 4-7 record he had at Southern. I mean, it's just hard to excel when you're an interim coach. I'm sure he was all in on the job and everything, but that was a bad time. It was coming off the COVID year. It was coming off the COVID season, and every program was in flux. Every program was struggling, and I don't think it was a good indication. I think he's a solid football mind. So, I like the hires for Mickey Joseph, who does have some SWAC experience, but nothing like those two guys that can really help guide him in that first year. It's going to be interesting up there.
An interesting Bayou Classic for sure. When you look with Terrence Graves on one end, and he's won the Classic at both schools. There's a lot of intertwining going on now when I'm looking at Southern and Grambling, which makes the storyline for this year's Bayou Classic even greater. And I hope this year, when you talk about both these programs, that they can get back to the level of prominence where the Bayou Classic is for all the marbles for the SWAC West Division title. Winner has an opportunity to play in the SWAC Championship and as well as hopefully get to that Celebration Bowl over in Atlanta. Let's bring it back home and talk about Southern because on Wednesday, it was National Recruiting Day, National Signing Day. And National Signing Day doesn't quite seem to hold that flair that it once did 5-10 years ago. Now that you have the opening of the transfer portal, the early signing period that ends in December. But nonetheless, it is still at a time that people come together and find a way to get excited, meet new members of the coaching staff, and get a chance to see who's going to be the future Jaguars of names that should be familiar from the Jaguar Journal to barbershops and schools across the city. And for you, Jim, when you look at the talent, let's go through and talk to me about the guys that they signed. And let's start on the offensive side of the ball because they went heavily after the offensive line, especially an O-line that struggled last year at Southern. Now going into that, signing these guys, let's talk about that offense.
Yeah, 6 offensive linemen they brought in this class. And 4 of them, or 3 of them, I'm sorry, half of the offensive linemen they're bringing in are high schoolers, and the other half are transfers. And that tells you right there, he's looking for depth. He's looking for guys that they can develop. and then he also has some immediate needs. They got a decent core of linemen coming back, but they got to plug some gaps. And they lost a couple in the portal. They lost a couple of offensive linemen in the portal, a couple of starters. So, yeah, they've got some work to do there. But I know one guy they got, they kind of stole him away from Jackson State. He was committed to Jackson State, a guy named Caleb Bailey, 6'6", 328. Sounds like a tackle to me. And then they from Natchez, Mississippi, I guess he figured out it's a shorter drive from Natchez to Southern University than it is to Jackson State, at least an easier road. So, but he brought in a guy, Carmelo Crump from UL Monroe, a transfer, and then Antonio Sanders. And I think he liked these two guys a lot. I think he thinks they're ready. Antonio Sanders is 6'2", 370. I don't know if he needs to lose some weight or what, but he's gonna be a massive. Just running around him, if he's a tackle, just running around him is going to be tough for a defensive end. So I think that was obviously the need that they needed to address. And then it's good that they signed 13 high school kids, and six of those are preferred walk-ons, and those are guys that you stash in your program for a couple of years, and then when a scholarship opens up, you give it to them because they're 2 years in, and there's somebody that you can move up who's already ready, so that's you see a lot more preferred. You were talking about how much it's changed. The preferred walk-ons are becoming a lot bigger now.
Oh, yeah, we saw that definitely with Dawson Odoms dealing with that time at Southern University. And a guy like Leonard Tillery, who's now the all-time leading rusher in the SWAC, coming right out of McKinley High School out there bottom. He came to Southern off a preferred walk-on and ultimately became a star, and his name is now etched in legend in the SWAC and at Southern. You also look at the running back position, Jim. They went and got a couple guys in the running back position also.
Yeah, actually just one running back, but that's Jason Gabriel. They signed him from John Curtis, and he's a small guy, so it looks like they're going to be a jitterbug backfield. They don't look like the power. They don't have a power runner because they didn't have one last year really either. But they signed a guy, Gerard Hicks. They got him listed as a wide receiver, but he's actually bigger than Jason Gabriel. He rushed for 1,000 yards, more than 1,000 yards and 28 touchdowns over the last 2 years at Shoemaker in Killeen, Texas. And they signed him as a wide receiver, but I guess this is a guy that I don't know. They get him into camp. Maybe he ends up being as one of the top 3 running backs. You never know. Mm-hmm. I think they the running backs. With Kendrick Rhymes coming back, I think they're going to be okay there. I don't know what else they're going to do. They got the kid that the Grambling transfer, and We'll see what they do there, and then they signed one other wide receiver, DeTravian Brown from North Texas State. He's a Shreveport kid. Looks like a big kid, 6'0", 194. So that's going to help them on the offensive side too.
Let's jump over to the defensive side of the ball. DBs, D tackles. What did Southern pick up on that side of the ball, Jim?
Well, I think this guy that they just got, they just got his paperwork yesterday. Stephon Wright. He was a 4-star signee out of high school. He's from Los Angeles. He signed with Arizona State. He played very little bit 1 year there. Transferred to SMU. He only played 1 year at SMU. So he's been in college for 4 years, but only played a little bit of 1 year. So not a whole lot of a track record to go on. But I could tell Coach Graves was very excited about getting this guy. They were holding on. They were hoping, getting a little worried there when his paperwork didn't come in on Wednesday. But they got him locked up on Friday. He looks like 6'5", 285. Looks like a guy who probably can move a little bit. He's got some athleticism to him, and that's what you need at tackle. You got to have a guy that can move and it's quick off the ball. The other guy that they got is Darius Jackson. This is a guy that Dooley signed last year, and they couldn't get him. They didn't get him into school until January, so they kept him on the line. And he's a 6'2", 328. pound tackle that transferred from Arkansas State. So he's played at this level. He's given a little bit of a barometer for them to go on, and I think they really like him too. Because when you bring a guy in and you hang on to him, you obviously think he can help you. You expend a little extra effort to get him in late, and he's already in school, so he's going to go through spring. And he's probably going to be a guy that could step in for Rasheed Lyles. They're losing Rasheed Lyles, and they're losing a couple of other backups. They lost Joshua Donald and Latrell Johnson. So there's a couple of spots open in that defensive tackle rotation, and Darius Jackson could definitely step in and help them there.
Let's keep going, talking about the defensive backs. One of those names is a familiar name of Southern.
You mean, I'm not sure. Are you talking about Grayson LaFleur? He's the linebacker. Yeah, Grayson LaFleur. That's a funny story. Greg LaFleur used to bring Grayson around when he was a boy, and he would hang around the Jaguar weight room and hang around the field house, and got to know coaches like Coach Graves and all the other coaches that were working with Southern at the time. And a lot of them said, I can't believe that's little Grayson who used to, bring his toys with him and play in the locker room. But, they really hit the secondary hard. They signed the one linebacker, him as the one linebacker, but they brought in 4 defensive backs, and then they brought in 2 more as preferred walk-ons. So they got 6 defensive backs coming in, and he likes all of these guys. He seemed especially happy about Elijah West. I think this is a guy that's got a chance to step in the spot that Kristen Davis, who jumped into the portal and ended up at I think he ended up at Houston. Is that right? Yeah. So Elijah West, Iowa Central Junior College. He's an Albany, Georgia native, 6'0", 188. He's a big corner. And that's what you need. You need guys out there that can tackle, because they're in today's college football, the secondary guys have got to tackle, because they're in the open field with these guys, and if they don't make the tackle, it's a big gainer. Got Jamarius Brown from Miles College transfer, Xavier Spencer, UT San Antonio transfer from Leesville, Louisiana, and then they signed a freshman, Ty Lee, from Lafayette Christian. They'll probably stash him and try to build him up, put some strength on him. But I think those 3 guys all have a chance to contribute: Jamarius Brown, Spencer, and then West. And I think we'll see those guys for sure.
We've got a guy on tight end. What about our tight end? They just signed a guy yesterday.
Yeah, Hubert Caliste, St. Aug. This is a guy they started looking at him last year as a junior. So they've been tracking him for a while, and he had committed to Indiana. So they kind of felt like maybe that was over with, but he decommitted from Indiana. He's got some nice size and weight. 6'4", 235. He's a good athlete. I tried to track down some stats on him as a receiver at St. Aug, but I couldn't find anything. But he's one of the top scorers on their basketball team. So that tells you right there he can move. And at 235, I got to believe that he's maybe a little bit more of a receiver. And Graves said that the tight end is an important part of Mark Frederick's offense. They want to use the tight end. They want to use him in the running game too. And I think most schools do. It's just people think they don't use the tight end because the tight end don't throw to them. But lining up in the tight end makes the defense have to treat that extra man, that tight end, a little bit different. They can't just assume that he's going to be blocking somebody. They've got to have somebody that can cover, and he's going to create some mismatches on linebackers with that height and his ability and his athleticism, because it's not a lot of linebackers that can cover a guy like that. So, maybe now he's a freshman, so I don't think they're going to be throwing him out there necessarily in the opening game.
Let's look at what's already there, Jim, and, of course, the big circle. Everybody wants to know about the quarterback room. Any updates with that quarterback room? And if not, just go through who those guys are that are left in the quarterback room.
Oh, yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a big question mark right now. They don't have an experienced backup. They've got Noah Bodden, who ended the season, and like Coach Graves said, he's the number one guy right now, just because you got to throw somebody out there first. and you just don't have any behind him. You got two guys that were freshmen last year, and Xavier T-Set and then Jalen Brown. And T-Set and Brown both look pretty good. I mean, they're dual threat guys. And T-Set could be a quarterback for the future, maybe a year down the line or two. But I got a feeling that they're going to bring in somebody in the portal. He said that they're okay for now. They can get through spring with what they got. But I got to believe that when that portal opens up again in April, they're going to be looking around to see somebody is looking for a landing spot. An experienced guy that can come in and have poise and understand that, just getting the play in the huddle to the line of scrimmage and getting it executed. You don't have to throw for 3,000 yards if you can just get the plays executed. That's what they're looking for. They're going to be looking for somebody like that. And I got to believe they're going to sign somebody, because you've got to have, if something happened to Bodden, you don't want to be left with a freshman who has never taken a significant snap. The T-Set, and I don't think Jalen Brown got any. I know T-Set got into one game last year for a few snaps. So that's not enough to go on. And I don't know. We'll see. Maybe T-Set will light it up. Maybe Jalen Brown will light it up and really put some pressure on Bodden. But I really believe they're going to bring in somebody, an experienced quarterback to get here in the summer and try to get him up to speed.
I think that's the big thing everybody wants to know, because we've seen the quarterback situation at Southern the past 2 years. Bashawn McCray, and Harold Blood, and I think what the Jaguar Nation and Southern fans, when they came to games, they wanted to give those young guys opportunities, Jim. That was the big question. If a guy is struggling, give the opportunity to somebody in the quarterback room, and let's watch them grow up. And, unfortunately, we never got a chance to see any of these guys unless you were at practice or, like you said, a couple snaps in the game where it wasn't probably much left in the game or on the line at that point. So this is what I want to see in spring football, of opportunities of these guys for the fans to be able to see. Let's see that, get a chance to lay our eyes on them, put them in positions to be successful, and let's see will they be able to step up, because at the end of the day, those two guys were signed to be big-time playmakers for Southern. Those two names of guys ring out when you heard that they were recruited and they are ultimately on the roster at Southern. Now, I think people want to see, out of those two guys, who's going to be the guy that's going to take command of this offense. And Noah Biden is a guy that, if anybody's going to take command, Jim, I think it ought to be him with the most experience, considering he was a starter for 4 games at Grambling and came to Southern and quite didn't get his opportunity, but did in the Bayou Classic, brought home the victory. I think of most of all, he's going to have to step up, because he also was a highly touted quarterback coming out of New York.
Absolutely. And what goes on, I'll tell you, fans and coaches have just completely different perspective on quarterbacks. The coaches, they'll put all these quarterbacks through in spring practice, and they get to see them close up, and they make decisions about them coming out of spring, that this guy is a guy that we can't trust him. We may not be able to trust him with the ball in a tight situation, and because you have a guy in Harold Blood who never really played very much, you got to get him as many snaps as you can. You want him to get more and more comfortable, and that's why they don't. At the end of a game when they're winning by 28 or 35 points, they don't just throw people in there. Harold Blood was a guy that needed to get as many snaps as he could, even those throwaway snaps at the end of the game, and garbage time snaps. And so I think you may see that again with Noah Bodden. You're not going to see a whole lot. They got to get him comfortable as the number one guy. And as many snaps as they can get him, they're going to get him they're going to get him. Now, if it's just ridiculous, against a team that they're blowing out by 50 or so, they may take a chance and give. And in fact, Dooley even admitted that the mistake he made with Bashawn McCray, in that, if you remember that opening game, that 86-0 game, McCray played one quarter. And that was like that hurt him. And, he played every quarterback a whole quarter. Well, they were up, 42-0? So, yeah, you gotta think about what you're doing sometimes, and Bodden is going to need as many snaps as he can get, so until he's confident and comfortable to where it's second nature. Every snap is second nature to him. That's what you want in your quarterback. You gotta have poise before you have arm strength or any kind of passing ability, and that's why the freshmen usually take a couple of years. Every now and then you have a freshman that comes out and can light it up, and can step right in. But you don't see that there's not too many Peyton Mannings out there. So I think we're going to see a little bit of the same this year, unless they bring in, like I said, a seasoned veteran in the transfer portal.
Yeah, the last young guy to do it at Southern was Austin Howard as a freshman. Led Southern to a SWAC championship appearance and became a 4-year starter and the all-time leading passer in Southern University history. So it's all about giving a young guy a shot if he can take it and take command of the offense. So let's see what this season has in store. I'm excited for spring football. I know everybody out there was excited and ready to get to go. And listen, I get calls everywhere I go, Jim. Everywhere I get stopped, people ask me, what do you think? What you think about the hire? What you think about Grace? What you think about the coordinators? What you think about the players? And I'm just letting them know, hey, I'm in a wait-and-see pattern like everybody else to see how this thing unfolds. Jim Klein-Peter, I want to say thank you for joining me this morning, giving us some insight into the program, having conversation. National Signing Day was last Wednesday. The guys are in, and now we're getting ready to roll into the spring. Spring football will be jumped off before you know it, and it'll be spring game. And you'll look up, and we'll be in the summer getting ready for McNeese State for that first game over in Lake Charles next year. So, Jim, thank you for coming on with me this morning. That's Jim Klein-Peter of the
My
Advocate.
pleasure.
Thank you, Jim.
My pleasure, Perry. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. Good morning to everybody that's out there listening, whether you're getting ready for a parade, just waking up, does not matter. Happy Mardi Gras to you. No matter where you are in the world, it is a festive, celebratory time of the year, and I hope you guys are getting the day started the right way, that you're safe out there. If you are going to get out there, and don't drink and drive. It's okay to Uber. It's okay to call somebody for a ride. Don't do no drinking and driving, all right? Don't do that. Don't put yourself and everybody else at risk. It's okay. Call an Uber, cab, a friend, mama, grandma, aunt, baby mama. I don't know who you have out there. It's okay to call them and let them know, can you come pick me up? All right? So good morning to everybody on our YouTube. Go subscribe. Jaguar Journal on our YouTube channel. Go hit that subscribe button if you listen this morning. We would love to have you as a member. It costs you nothing. I don't need anything from you but your support and your love anytime we have this show. And good morning, everybody on our Facebook Live as well. Go hit that and follow our Facebook page. And everybody out there, the millions of people listening across the state of Louisiana and the region, Alexandria, Louisiana, here in Baton Rouge on 107.3, down in New Orleans, all of our affiliates. We thank you. Let's get ready to take a break. Come back. I'll talk some SWAC basketball for you. So y'all stay tuned more to Jaguar Journal.
Nobody will satisfy your outdoor needs like reliable roofing.
Over the past 15 years, I had 2 roofing systems, including a chimney, installed by Reliable Roofing. I highly recommend them to get the job done.
Reliable roofing, where no job is too big or small. Just give us a call.
No matter the job, big or small, give us a call.
For over 50 years, Southern University at Shreveport has been preparing students for various careers in the healthcare industry. We want to thank the past graduates, our future graduates, and all healthcare workers for the frontline service, especially in times like these. If you're passionate about helping others and building healthier communities, start your career as a frontline healthcare worker in health sciences. Visit susla.edu.
Depression, anxiety, trauma, nicotine dependence, and more. Many families are struggling with behavioral health issues. Reaching out for professional help is the best thing you can do for you and your family. At Care South, we are committed to helping individuals and families to heal, bounce back, and grow stronger. Our team of professionals are available for telehealth and in-person visits. Call for an appointment today at 225-650-2000. Hope in healing is just a phone call.
right. Happy Mardi Gras. Good morning to everybody. It is the Jaguar Journal. I am Perry White. Glad to have you guys joining me this morning. I didn't have to stand up. I was getting too comfortable letting everybody come on. We've been rocking and rolling interviews since we first came on this morning. Now it is my time. It is all me at this point that you get to hear this beautiful voice of Perry White. And happy Mardi Gras to you. Hit that subscribe button right there on our YouTube channel if you have not done so, as well as go follow us on our Facebook page. It is the Jaguar Journal. Follow it on all social media. We don't need anything from you. We just need your support. And thank you for getting up. I know it is early, but let's keep things rocking and rolling because now it's time to talk some SWAC women's basketball. In particular, you know who you love to know about, your Southern University women's basketball team. Went on the road last week, Alcorn and Jackson. And as you know, right here in Baton Rouge, those are two places that don't quite like Jaguar fans, right? And Alcorn was the first stop on the trip for the weekend for the Southern University women's basketball team as they took on the Alcorn State women's basketball. And Southern walks out of there with a victory, 61-58. The Jaguars women's basketball team, 22 of 50, shooting 44% in that ball game, 5 of 13 from the three-point line, shooting 38%, and 12 of 28 from the free throw line, shooting 46% on the other side for Alcorn State women's basketball team, 18 of 35, shooting 51% in this ball game, 5 of 9 from the three-point line, shooting 55%, and 17 of 20 from the free throw line, shooting 85%. Southern in this ball game able to walk away with a victory. Southern on points on turnovers, 25 points on the turnovers to 8 or from Alcorn, and Southern gets out of there with a victory. And then on Monday, listen, heartbreaker. Is that, how can I break that word up anymore? It was a heartbreaker. Southern gives up a tough one against Coach Tamika Reed and Jackson State. I don't like saying that too much. But either way it goes, Jackson State women's basketball gets the victory, 63-58 over Southern women's basketball. Southern women's in that game shot 16 of 50 for 32%, 3 of 10 from the three-point line for 30%, 23 of 32 from the free throw line for 71%. On the other side, Jackson State women's basketball shot 14 of 45 for 31% in that ball game, 4 of 19 from the three-point line, shooting 21%, and 31 of 40 and some clutch free throws down the stretch for them, shooting 77%. Jackson State women's basketball gets the victory over Southern. It was the first time this year I've seen Jackson State's basketball team, that women's team, get stressed out, pushed to the edge. That was a close one because you go back, you look at any of their games through conference play, they have been complete blowouts. I'm talking about it hadn't even been close. And Southern had them on the ropes and ultimately gave that game away, man. Look, I was hyped up. People were texting me like, hey, you paying attention to this game? I'm like, yeah, it's looking good. Then that last minute, I just got crying, laughing emojis. They just sending me stuff like, yeah, what happened? I always, with all my friends, when we talk about SWAC, basketball, football, whatever, when Southern don't do something right, guess what? Who got to take it? Who be defending the Jaguar Nation? It's always me because they like, bruh, what happened? And I said, I don't know what the hell happened Monday night. I thought we were going to get us one over Jackson. Remember last year in the semifinals of the women's basketball tournament over in Birmingham, Southern upset Jackson State on a last-second three-pointer to help lift them and send them to the SWAC championship. And ultimately, Southern women's basketball winning the SWAC women's basketball tournament and went to the NCAA basketball tournament, take on Sacred Heart in that first 4 game. Let's look at games around the SWAC last Saturday, and then I'll get you caught up to date with what's going to happen around women's basketball today. Alabama State got a big victory over Bethune-Cookman, 56-53. Alabama A&M, 71-69 over Florida A&M. Jackson State got that victory, 71-63 over Grambling on Saturday. Prairie View and Texas Southern, that rivalry game over in Houston. Prairie View got the victory, 78-65. That's Sandy Pugh getting her W. And Pine Bluff continues to roll, 76-60 over Mississippi Valley. Then on Monday, you look around, Pine Bluff kept it rolling as they went to go make up a game with Prairie View due to that cancellation or postponement a couple weeks ago that went to weather that road across the South. The Golden Lions on the women's side getting it done 77-48. Grambling State continued to get back on track, 72-55 victory over Alcorn State women. FAMU over Alabama State, 49-40, and Alabama A&M 76-72 over Bethune-Cookman. Pine Bluff right now and Jackson State on a collision course this Monday. This should be a good game up in Pine Bluff. All right, SWAC standings on the women's side. Mississippi Valley at 1-8 in conference play. Alcorn 2-7. Texas Southern and Alabama State both 3-6 in conference play. Bethune-Cookman and FAMU, the two Florida schools, both at 4-5 in conference play. Then you got a load of teams right there together. Southern, Prairie View, Alabama A&M, all 5-4 in conference play, 4 games out of first place. Then the big three, Grambling, 6-3. They're 3 games out of first place. UAPB women's basketball team, Coach Don Thornton doing a great job up there, 7-2 in conference play, 2 games out. And Jackson State Coach Tamika Reed, 9-0 in conference play. Jackson State, the big bad Tigers, are keeping things rolling up there in Jackson, Mississippi, as they continue to stay undefeated. And then they got pushed to the edge this past week when you talk about Southern. Southern, man. I thought we was going to get that victory, and we did not get that victory. Let's jump over to the men's side. That still hurts, y'all. It hurt anytime losing to Jackson State. Does that make sense? Are y'all with me? Do y'all understand? Just like Essence once again messed up talking about the sonic boom of Southern University. It's just Jackson and Southern don't mix. That's like oil and water. It never will work. Southern University going on the road as well on the men's side. Woo! You talking about Alcorn. Where G at? Where GSPN? No, he got to be hurt when anytime it's a 1-point victory. 71-70 Southern gets the victory over Alcorn. Southern men's basketball shooting 22 of 48 in that ball game for 45%. 12 of 23 from the three-point line for 52% and 15 of 25 from the free throw line shooting 60% on the other side for the Braves of Alcorn. They not the big bad Braves right now, G. They the big sorry Braves. 18 of 50 for 36%, 9 of 20 from the three-point line for 45% and 25 of 31 shooting 80% from the free throw. Southern gets out of there. Woo. What they say by the hair on my chinny chin? That's getting out of there, right? And then a big victory. Hey, this one made me feel good Monday on ESPN2. That's right. The Jaguars was on ESPN2 getting it done. And nobody the better to get it done in front of a national audience. And that's walking away with a victory against Jackson State. Southern gets the victory 72-63. The Jaguars head on home on the men's side with 2 dubs on the road in Mississippi. Southern in this ball game shooting 26 of 54, 48% in this game, 6 of 16 from the three-point line, shooting 37%, and 14 of 19 from around the free throws, shooting 73% on the other side for the Tigers of Jackson State, 19 of 52 in this ball game, shooting 36%, 4 of 21 from the three-point line for 18%, and 21 of 28 from the free throw line, shooting 75%. Southern got 34 points in the paint to Jackson State's 22 in the paint. The Jaguars move on and keep their streak alive. Southern right now. Let's talk about the SWAC men's standings. Starting from the bottom up, just like in the women's at the bottom, just in the men's as well, the Devils, the Delta Devils of Mississippi Valley, they're 0-9 so far in conference play. Have not won a game really on the season. 0-22. Some trouble up there in Edabina, right? 0-22, 0-9 in conference play. FAMU now ain't better. 2-7 in conference play, 4-16 overall. Alabama A&M, along with Alcorn and Jackson and Prairie View, all of those teams are 4-5 in conference play, 3 games out. Jackson State literally has fallen off on the men's side. Mo Williams looked like this program was going to be competing for a SWAC regular season title, and then over the past couple weeks, they completely fallen on their face. All those teams sitting there at 4-5. Now 2 teams at 5-4. UAPB Golden Lions and Bethune-Cookman, both those teams 5-4 in conference play, 2 games out of first place. Texas Southern and Alabama State right there at 6-3, 1 game out of first place. It is Jackson State and Grambling. The 2 Louisiana schools at the top tied for first place. They are, and that is your SWAC basketball standings. Let's get ready to take a break. Put them foes up, as they say. We're going to close this thing out. Y'all rocking and rolling with me. Stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
Nobody will satisfy your outdoor needs like reliable roofing.
Over the past 15 years, I had 2 roofing systems, including a chimney, installed by Reliable Roofing. I highly recommend them to get the job done.
Reliable Roofing, where no job is too big or small. Just give us a call.
No matter the job, big or small, give us a call.
For over 50 years, Southern University at Shreveport has been preparing students for various careers in the healthcare industry. We want to thank the past graduates, our future graduates, and all healthcare workers for the frontline service, especially in times like these. If you're passionate about helping others and building healthier communities, start your career as a frontline healthcare worker in health sciences. Visit susla.edu.
Depression, anxiety, trauma, nicotine dependence, and more. Many families are struggling with behavioral health issues. Reaching out for professional help is the best thing you can do for you and your family. At Care South, we are committed to helping individuals and families to heal, bounce back, and grow stronger. Our team of professionals are available for telehealth and in-person visits. Call for an appointment today at 225-650-2000. Hope in Healing is just a phone call.
We are back. Good morning to everybody and happy Mardi Gras out there. I hope you guys are feeling festive just as much as I am. You see my beads. Do you hear them? You may not see me if you're listening to me on the radio, but I got my beads on. I'm prepped and ready for Mardi Gras. I had to go home last night. I was disciplined. I said, Perry, go home so you can wake up for the people in the morning because the people need you. The people want to hear from you. So I had to go home. We better believe I'm having a good time today. So if you see me out there, have a good time with me. Baton Rouge today, New Orleans tomorrow. I'll be down in New Orleans for the Bacchus Parade tomorrow. The Southern University Marching Band will be down there and many other bands. And, you know, if you're in South Louisiana, and I love the New Orleans culture and I love everything about it, I'm a band head. And that's for the culture, all right? If you don't understand the culture, then you just don't understand it. But I understand the culture because I am of the culture, all right? I am the culture. And I can't wait to get down there tomorrow. Southern University women's basketball tip-off today. Home weekend for Southern, just in case if you're looking for something else to do. If Mardi Gras may not be your thing, but you want to go to a sporting event, Southern men and women basketball at home today as well as on Monday. Right? Southern women's tip-off today at 3 o'clock. The men follow right behind that against Alabama A&M at 5:30. So if you're not a part of the festivities and want to be out, you can go watch some basketball right there. FG Clark Activity Center, also known as the Mini Dome across the hump. Go watch some basketball. Southern takes on Alabama A&M today. Women tip off at 3. Men tip off at 5:30. And then they have Alabama State at home on Monday. A tough one. When you talk about defending home court, Southern men 8-0 this season at home. So, hey, it's tough. What they say, it's tough on the bluff when you're trying to come in here and get a victory. Let's see, can the women bounce back from that loss at Jackson State? on Monday. Should be interesting. It's the Super Bowl, right? I'm going to miss the Super Bowl because I'd rather go to a Mardi Gras parade, right? That lets you know my dedication to this. But the Super Bowl is this weekend, tomorrow. So I know a lot of you guys, if you're not just partying for Mardi Gras, it's going to be Super Bowl parties all over the place, all type of food and great fun and people coming together and enjoying themselves. And it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. Where the Niner fans at? Huh? I know y'all are out there like the Cowboy fans. They're out there, right? Every year is going to be their year. And Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, wow, right? Is he a legend in the making as we're watching it or what? And it's sometimes so funny when you're watching it unfold before your very eyes because you don't quite truly understand what it is in that moment. The same way you watch Tom Brady through those years, the same way you watch LeBron James and Michael Jordan, a lot of those greats. As you're watching it in real time, you're not even understanding like, and we always call them those once in a lifetime, that generational talent. You got to help but say Patrick Mahomes is that generational talent. But shout out to my boy Lamar Jackson for winning the MVP, right? His second one in the NFL. I hate he didn't get to that dang on Super Bowl. Zay Flowers, what happened? 6, 7, 5 inches from the goal line. I wanted my boy Lamar to get to the Super Bowl. Then you hear all the noise. Look, I've been watching Radio Row all week from Las Vegas, and everybody's been talking about the Super Bowl. Cam Newton has been having to stand up to a lot of guys. Warren Sapp, Shannon Sharp. Hey, everybody calling him out. Saying, but you entitled to what you want to say. And I love it. I love unfiltered, this new age of information that we get and opinionated podcasting. I love it. I'm not the greatest politically correct, and trust me, guys, I do my best to be politically, I'm not politically correct. I just do my best not to cuss. I do my best just not to cuss on these radio waves because I know the children are listening and it's early, right? And I'm very professional. But catch me on that internet. I may do and say something else. But nonetheless, the Super Bowl tomorrow, everybody, I hope you get I do a little sports betting. So I ain't promoting nothing here. I ain't, but it's on you what you want to do. But if you ain't got that in it, you might want to go check them spreads, them over-unders, and that money line, and you might want to check them player props. You may be able to piece you up to something together and may walk out of this thing this weekend a winner, not only on the field, but in your bank account and in your pocket. So I ain't going to tell you where to go and what to do. That's on you. All right? But you better believe Perry got a little something. Hey, I hope I clear. I'm telling you, I hope I clear. And I got a couple of them out there. So I hope you guys as well have a good weekend. Be sure to go follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Jaguar Journal, if you're up this morning. If it's your first time listening, I'm Perry White. Good for you to be joining us. My man Mike on the board, always making sure he's holding it down. If you're looking at me live and you get a chance to see my face and, you see me with all my beads on, I'm on the YouTube and I'm on the Facebook Live. And if that works better for you, let's say you get out your car, right, and I want to continue to listen to the show, or I'm somewhere and I just want to cut it on because I may not be within the radio wavelength of the stations. Of course, we're in Alexandria, Baton Rouge, as well as New Orleans. But if you're outside of those radio wavelengths, you can listen to us and watch me anywhere in the world on Saturday mornings. You can always go back and rewatch it because a lot of times, a lot of you guys, y'all ain't up with the rooster like me at 7. I'm in this thing. Mike and I in this thing. We ready to rock and roll. Y'all mosey on in here at about 8:30, 8:32. You mosey on in here and say, what he talking about? Who on there? Oh, man, I missed him. That's right. That's why you go hit that subscribe button. Run it back. You can listen to it again. Want to thank Coach Williams coming on, the Southern University women's softball coach. Hey, thank you for coming on, and good luck to you guys in that Mardi Gras Mambo tournament as they take on Providence and Green Bay today. Shout out to Coach Barry Doyle, Southern University women's bowling coach. He came on today. He's back-to-back Coach of the Year. His team back-to-back regular season champions on the year. My man Jim Klein-Peter, the Advocate, coming on, talking to us, giving us some updates about the program, having conversation. I hope you guys enjoy that. And my man Dr. Kedrick Taylor. You can catch the Southern University Marching Band on television, major network tonight on CBS at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. They are a part of the I want to say the Celebration Bowl. The Super Bowl. Damn it. The Super Bowl. See, I said I try not to cuss. That's one. Y'all got me. All right, the Super Bowl celebration, soulful celebration. That'll be airing tonight. The Southern University Marching Band will be representing its brand, part of the Super Bowl celebrations, and then the big game tomorrow. So hope you guys have enjoyed today's show. I am Perry White. Happy Mardi Gras to you. I'll be headed over to a parade here shortly. I'll be down in New Orleans tomorrow. My man Mike going to be holding it down. And as my man Flood says all the time, just went quiet on you, huh? Hey, I'll see y'all next week. I'm ready to go. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Nobody will satisfy your outdoor needs like reliable roofing.
Over the past 15 years, I had 2 roofing systems, including a chimney, installed by Reliable Roofing. I highly recommend them.